done of me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. Bang out the buzzword, teaching that blind man to say. You might get the best of him, but sure, never for me. Now, sweet talk to beanstalk, tail jack to go and fetch your bang. Try that and upstate boy to a different kind of scene. Went off to college, but college turned out me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. I said, whoa, light that fuse and run. I said, whoa, I am my father's son. Light that fuse and run. Whoa, light that fuse and run. Went off to college, but college done up me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. Bang out the buzzword, teaching that blind man to say. You might get the best of him, but you'll never fool me. Now, sweet talk to beanstalk, tail jack to go and fetch your bang. Try that and upstate boy to a different kind of scene. Went off to college, but college done up me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. I said, whoa, light that fuse and run. I say, whoa, I am my father's son. Light that fuse and run. Whoa, light that fuse and run. Whoa. But college done up me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. Bang out the buzzword, teaching that blind man to say. You might get the best of him, but sure, never for me. Now, sweet talk to beanstalk, tail jack to go and fetch your bang. Try that and upstate boy to a different kind of scene. Went off to college, but college turned out me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. I said, whoa, light that fuse and run. I said, whoa, I am my father's son. Light that fuse and run. Whoa, light that fuse and run. Went off to college, but college done up me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. Bang out the buzzword, teaching that blind man to say. You might get the best of him, but you'll never fool me. Now, sweet talk to beanstalk, tail jack to go and fetch your bang. Try that and upstate boy to a different kind of scene. Went off to college, but college done up me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. I said, whoa, Light that fuse and run. I say, whoa, I am my father's son. Light that fuse and run. Whoa, light that fuse and run. Whoa, light that fuse and run. Whoa, light that fuse and run. Went off to college, but college done up me. Couldn't get my master's.
What is up, 24/7 Buff Fandemonium? It's your boy Swank. It's 7:01 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's time for some prime time football. New York Giants, Buffalo Bills, Fandemonium. Right down south for me is Mr. Ryan Thomas. Ryan, how are you feeling on this beautiful Sunday evening?
I'm feeling great. I've been waiting all day for Sunday night.
Ooh.
Bills, Giants. Of course, this stadium is going to be looking a lot like this, but the nighttime sky with the LED wristbands, if you haven't heard.
No,
Should be interesting.
That's cute. That's cute.
Yeah, should be interesting.
Yeah, that's nice. Right over next to me right here is my brother from another mother, Mr. Scooter Magooter, a.k.a. Scott the Tot. What's up, Scotty?
Oh man, I'm so excited for this. This is a long day. We always say this when we have 8 o'clock football games. It's a long day, but a lot of upsets today. Situations are trying to settle themselves and making things an interesting AFC for sure. We've got to win. 4-2 looks a lot better than 3-3 right now. So I'm pumped, nervous, got all those emotions going. Let's talk about it, guys.
Ooh, and I can't wait to talk about it. You're watching Sunday Sessions with three of the best. Can I just say it? From the Buff Fan Base Network. Sponsored by 26 Shirts. Go to 26shirts.com. Down the gang got all sorts of great things going on down there, and just sign your whole paycheck over. It's a beautiful thing. All goes to charity. We got Rob Mullen in the comments saying it's Bedlam, it's Pandemonium, it's 24/7 Buff Fandemonium. How you doing, Rob? This matchup, man, is just it's like somebody set a bomb off in the locker rooms, right? There's inactives, there's injuries, there's all sorts of craziness going on, and that can lead to some interesting circumstances. So the inactives have come in, and I just wanted to read through them quick. We went through them right before we went live. We got DeMar Hamlin out, Dane Jackson out, AJ Klein, who got pulled up from the practice squad, out. We got Affetti out, Alec Anderson, and one of the biggest surprises on this list, Mr. Dalton Kincaid, still in concussion protocol. So, RT, tell me, how are you feeling about these inactives, brother?
Well, obviously, I would have loved to have seen Kincaid out there. I think, one thing that I'd agree on with the Twitter assessment or X assessment of the Buffalo Bills offense is we want to see Knox and Kincaid get going. Only one half of the law firm will be out there tonight. Dawson Knox is active. Kincaid is not. But there's so many weapons on this offense that I think Josh Allen will try to get the ball to. As we looked at that second half last week against Jacksonville, it seemed like first half, obviously very sluggish, only 7 points. But second half, the offense started to come alive a little bit. You did start to see Allen and company, Allen spreading the ball out. That's the key, I think. No matter who's out there, as long as Allen's taking advantage of who's out there, spreading the football around like butter, it should be a good night.
I like it. Scooter, what do you got? What do you got about these inactives, my man?
We'd love to see the 12 personnel. Obviously, we're transitioning into that. So I think Ken Dorsey is not going to be out very much outside his comfort zone with only Dawson Knox being there. So I think we'll be all set for now. Like I said, we haven't fully transitioned to that scheme, but I think we'll be all right. Our line's healthy. Our running backs are healthy. Our wide receivers are all good. I think we'll see a lot more Reggie Gilliam and Quentin Morris, obviously. But they've done a good job for the last. Well, Quentin Morris has done a pretty good job the last couple of years. That's why he's still on the Buffalo Bills roster. But I think offensively we'll be good. Defensive backs, Dane Jackson out. I'm kind of excited to see what Jamarcus Ingram's all about.
He got called up.
Mm-hmm.
He was your darling of training camp, I do believe, man. I remember you talking quite a bit about Mr. Ingram. What did you see from him that you really liked this offseason?
Knowing the system. That's what it's all about with the Buffalo Bills and Sean McDermott. If you're going to play on his defense, you've got to understand his scheme, his system. And I mean, they could obviously put other guys back there because the Buffalo Bills like to bring in these hybrid guys, but bringing him in tells me that McDermott trusts him. He understands the system. It's time for him to shine. So it's all about the smarts. That's why he's playing.
Hell yeah, man. You know, these guys are not stupid, man. As much as like we talk about Bill's Twitter and all that stuff and all the armchair GMs and everything else, these decisions are not made willy-nilly, man. Like, you know, there's like a really strenuous process for evaluating these players. And there's a reason they say next man up. You know, we give Brandon Beane all these like pats on the back for this beautiful roster that he's built. And then as soon as one player gets the chance to prove it, we're throwing mud at him, right? Like, you got to trust the process a little bit here, all the buzzword stuff. Let's give it a chance to see if it'll work, right? Like, these guys can play. That's why they're on the team. We got Kevin Cummings saying a good game to deal with injuries, give Williams some playing time, show what he can do. Playing a bum offense could boast morale for the full-in players. We got Ken saying Buffalo will win by a large sum. That was very very like concrete. I love that.
By a large
By a
sum.
large sum, dude. Yeah. It's like an accountant.
Right?
Your
Large
return is going to
sum.
be a large sum, sir.
The Bills will win by an absolute amount of points.
We got Lonnie Cook in the comments saying, "Hey guys, what's up, Lonnie? You guys are
Like
killing
Josh
it right
at
now,
the
man."
game.
Oh yeah. Our boy Cookie's at the game right now. I could have been at the game as well. I opted out. I got too big of a day tomorrow. You know, it's a Monday. I'll be tired enough watching it home.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Jim Graham? My guys, let's go Buffalo. Hell yeah. So real quick, let me run the New York Giants inactives. The big name on this list, of course, is Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is out. Bobby McCain, Javarius Owens, John Michael Schmitz, Matt Pert, Andrew Thomas, which is another big name, tackle, and defensive lineman DJ Davidson. I think the most astounding thing is that Saquon Barkley is not on this list. He is active for tonight. That just dropped right before we went live. So we do have to deal with Saquon. We have Tyrod Taylor in the backfield, which we are very familiar with. I wanted to get your guys' take on this. Scott, I'm going to hit you first. Tyrod, man, he gets a warm welcome when he comes to Buffalo, right? There's no boo birds. There's no ill will, right? Like, Tyrod's a hero, right?
I agree. You got us out of that drought. Obviously the performance in the playoffs were, we don't like to talk about it, but yeah, he's done nothing wrong. He's one of those journeymen that have done all the right things wherever he's gone. He's played all the roles and he takes it as a good teammate would. So I've always liked Tyrod Taylor. I think he'll do okay today. He'll get a warm welcome from us for sure. I don't expect anything different. Us Bills fans are classy, but he makes me more nervous than Daniel Jones would have for sure.
I agree with that. I think there's two ways to look at this, and RT, let's see what you got to say about this. But we know what Tyrod Taylor is like very, very well here in Buffalo. We know his level of play, and we know why he didn't necessarily get a chance to hang around here and then became like a backup journeyman after he left Buffalo. He likes to play things safe, man. He won't take those risks. So, RT, what do you think about us facing our old friend, Mr. Tyrod Taylor, today?
Well, much like, how I refer to Josh Allen as a double-edged sword, where he can throw for 400 gazillion yards in a half and get benched by early in the fourth quarter. Tyrod Taylor is a double-edged sword too, where his ability to extend plays, find an open receiver, play safe, not turn the football over is his greatest asset. But his ability to play safe as well in crunch time situations, going drive for drive against an elite quarterback, that's where he's going to falter and not, catch up, not add up to the effort that is a consistent 300-yard, quarterback in today's NFL. So, I agree that it's a different matchup with Tyrod in there in comparison to Daniel Jones. As well, it's a different matchup with Saquon Barkley back there. That's a lot of speed. That's a lot to account for. And it kind of goes back to when Tyrod was here and he had LaShawn McCoy standing behind him. They were dynamic together because you had two running threats to stop. And I think that's the best case that the Giants have to move the football. Wide receiver wise, they've struggled finding, the right weapons for the quarterbacks that they've brought in, whether it was later in Eli's career after OBJ was gone, or even in the last few years with Daniel Jones. So I expect, the Bills to really zero in defensively on Tyrod as well as Saquon in order to really show a dominant effort tonight.
100%. Kevin asks, is Barkley playing? Yes, my brother. We just broke that. He is active for tonight. We saw some tweets about him practicing on the field beforehand. He was a game time decision, and the decision is he's going. Who knows if he's on a snap count or anything like that? I kind of doubt it. Though knowing Dable and the way he is, he's going to try and give Tyrod as much help as he possibly can because he's going to need it. I do love me some Tyrod Taylor, and I think this little mixture of skill players that Dable has is just that. It's kind of little, right? You got a banged up Saquon Barkley, you got an aged Tyrod Taylor, and you got an offense that's really just fluttered and faltered aside from like one big comeback. Even if Daniel Jones was in there, I'm not super scared of this offense. Partially because of our defense and the way the defense is played. I know that we do have some huge injuries on that side of the ball, but we do have a Von Miller coming back looking like he was playing pretty well last week in London. We have some exciting call-ups in Ingram. I'd love to see what Dorian Williams is going to do tonight, what his rotation's looking like. There's a lot of good to pull out of this, I think, too. And this might be exactly the game we need to kind of see where this defense is at in the healing stage and the continuity stage. So, Scooter, what are you looking at on our defensive side of the ball? What is the main thing that we need to focus on?
I think it's the same thing that hopefully McDermott is focusing on. Guys, I was surprised when I told you before the show started that the Bills were first in the league in sacks before the Baltimore game earlier this week. I was surprised by that. I knew we led in pressures and all that stuff, but sacks, didn't know that, and we're up there. And we're only getting better with Von Miller coming back. So Russo, Miller against this beat-up line. Our defensive tackles are going to be all set. I'm looking for a lot of pressure, and I think that's the best way to get on Tyrod Taylor and to stop the run. I think you get a couple points, couple touchdowns on Tyrod Taylor. He can't come back from that. He hasn't shown that he could in the past. I think it's just something that the defense has to do is create pressure, get the sacks, add the totals, and be the number one sacking team by the end of this week.
Ooh, I love it. RT, what do you think, buddy?
In terms of their defense, obviously Von Miller coming back is massive. I think Von Miller with a full week of, preparation at home where they're not having to travel and do all that horse crap that they had to do last week.
The experiment?
Experiment that should never happen again. We'll just throw that out there. But in terms of him having a full week of preparation here in Orchard Park, Western New York, getting ready for a home game is huge for him. And you mentioned a name earlier, Swank, that I think is massive for the future of our season, and that's Dorian Williams or whoever is playing in that spot that Matt Milano laid claim to for the last X amount of years at an all-pro level. That's not just any loss. Matt Milano, if I were to rank, like, who do you not want to lose? It's obviously the names that I'm not even going to mention because I'd have to knock on some wood. But Matt Milano would be on that list too, in the top 5, at least 3 maybe. And to see him go down last week was devastating. It took the wind right out of the air right out of my lungs watching him go down, and then to see the reaction on the sideline. That just goes to show you that the team is a team. They're a bonded unit, and it's been this way ever since Sean McDermott took over. And it's more now than ever, of course. But next man up is such a cliche saying, but I think there's a lot of guys on this defense that know that this is a rare opportunity to be on a team that is this great at this young state of their careers, and they have to take advantage of it, whether it's an Ingram, whether it's a Dorian Williams. I'm very excited to see the level of urgency that these guys play with. And with injury comes opportunity. That's what I've always said. Injury, opportunity. Who's ready to take it? Who's ready to take that opportunity and take their game to the next level? And I think that that's what we're going to see. That's what we're going to see in this game tonight.
Swank and Ryan, real quick. Dodson is right now the starting outside linebacker. Does Dorian take snaps, and does he get more snaps tonight? Is this the time that you test your linebacker that you drafted this year?
I want to see Dorian Williams. I like what I've seen, and I feel like Dodson fell behind when he was battling for that middle linebacker spot when Bernard was not even in training camp or in the preseason really. And then they gave it to Bernard. I think he was the odds-on favorite to win the job anyway, and he's not losing that job. So it's got to be Bernard. And I like the speed dynamic that's with Bernard and Dorian Williams out there as headhunting, magnets to the football that Sean McDermott wants out on that field. Ultimately, I think that's what we're going to see.
I agree.
That's what I hope we'll see.
100% agree. I think Dotson had his shot. Everybody kind of was like him and Han, like, oh my God, he's really leading the competition. And then as soon as Bernard came back, it was over. A name that I do want to throw in the mix, because I think Dorian Williams got his snaps last week. Like, he's been in the mix a little bit. I think maybe they trust him a little bit more. They're getting their feet wet with him. What about Mr. Balin Spector, right? He gets activated to the 53-man. He's not inactive tonight. Do we see a little bit of him? Are they waiting to see how he's feeling? I mean, at one point, we were talking about him being another Matt Milano-esque type player. So,
right.
Again, the boo birds on Twitter that are chammering about, the state of the Bills, like, calm down, man. You got some guys that have not gotten any playing time because we have monsters that are starting. Now, again, next man up. Let's see what happens. So I won't be surprised to see him get sprinkled in a little bit here. And if he pops and he snaps, he makes a play or two, some splash plays that, has been the buzzword here for the last couple of years. And then we finally got this season. You might see a little bit of changing of the guard there. So
I tell you what, Swank, if they're using Barkley and they want to focus on the run, I can see Balin Spector getting a little more reps than the Tyrell Dawsons and the Dorian Williams of the world. The guy played a lot of games at Clemson. He was a wonderful linebacker there. They drafted in the 7th round, but he was a run specialist. And like I said, if the Giants are coming here to try to slow down the Bills offense and they're going to ground and pound, you might see Balin in there more often than what you would have first thought at the beginning of the week.
If you see Balin sniff out one of those gaps the way Milano constantly does and smoke a running back in the backfield, everybody will collectively just be like,
right.
Big sigh of relief, dude.
Spector's biggest advantage, I would say, too, looking at what made him, eye-popping in the opportunities that he had, there were limited opportunities as well, and he was doing pretty well on special teams where the ball's getting kicked off. That player on the kicking team has to sift through blocks to try to find the ball carrier. And he did pretty well. I would say Balin Spector, Tyler Matakevich were like two of their best special teamers. Syrian Neal as well. So that's an interesting thought, that if this game is going to be a run predominant offense, by the Giants, which I think it will be, I think it has to be honest, for the Giants to have any chance of success, Spector could be that run stopping linebacker, and Dorian Williams could be that pass coverage linebacker. That's his bread and butter. 100%.
You've heard a third down running back. We're about to see a third down linebacker, right?
Yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I like it.
Whatever works, I'm completely fine with. Yeah. You guys, you are tuned into Sunday Sessions, brought to you by 24/7 Buff Fandemonium and the Thomas Takes Sports podcast on the Buffalo Fan Base Network, sponsored by 26 Shirts. Don't forget to go to 26shirts.com and spend every single dime you have. It's a great time. Absolutely great time. Great cause. Let's move on to the other side of the ball here, guys. We got 7:20. We like to do a little bit of a quick discussion, go over our hot takes, get all this out right before the game goes with the inactives and all that. So this shows like probably like half hour, a little over half hour, probably looks like right now. Offensively, man, what do we have to prove to ourselves this game against this opponent? RT, I'm going to shoot it right down to you first. What does this offense have to do today to win?
Start fast. Start fast. Start fast. The game has to start fast. I cannot go through another first half like I did against Jacksonville, like I did against week 1 with the Jets. No more of that. Start quick, whether it's running or passing. In terms of the playbook and what I want to see is, early down, first and 10, running situation, get some yards, then make some easy plays for Allen to just get comfortable without him feeling like, oh my God, it's 3rd and 15 and we just had another holding call against us. I got to do this. I got to do that. That's the stuff that gets the Bills in trouble. We've seen it in the past seasons. We've seen it in this one. The only time the Bills have been in trouble is in moments like that. So starting fast, and honestly, when you look at the stat sheet, the stat that jumped out at me last week was James Cook's 5 carries for -4 yards. That is a recipe for disaster. The team has to work through James Cook. That's the biggest difference from their talent level last year to this year, is that Cook's ready to take on another level of production that he wasn't quite ready for last year. I truly believe his sophomore slump is not a sophomore slump. By the end of the year, if they trust this kid, put the ball in his hands, it will be worth it. And I hope that is what I see in this game, starting fast and spreading the football around.
I love it, man. I absolutely love it. I think that balanced attack, I think you hit the nail on the head. Come out, show them who we are, throw the fucking ball in the goddamn end zone. That's what I want to see. Rob Mullen says, we don't have to prove anything tonight. Allen leads the NFL in completion percentage, and we are arguably facing one of the worst defenses in the NFL. This will likely be a game where the backups will be seeing time late. I love it. For me, I'm not saying that we have to prove anything to the NFL necessarily. I think this is more of an internal thing. They got to get over that little stupid hump. It's the one hiccup. It's the starting slow. It's the not getting the run game going. It's the frustration to where you start to put it together too late, and then all of a sudden the game's over. And I know it's early in the season and all that, but these are the things this type of team with this type of talent really needs to just hit the gas and go. So, Scooter, my brother, what do you got for me on this offense?
I agree with both of you guys. Our experienced wide receivers and Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs, we have more, but those are the 2 guys that need to take advantage of the rookie cornerbacks that are playing for the Giants right now. Hawkins and Banks. Banks has shown up pretty good this year. He might be defensive rookie of the year defensively, but those 2 are rookies. You need to treat them like they're rookies. I think Josh Allen could take advantage of that with a lot of quick passes. And we all know that Dorsey is calling the offense, and Dorsey needs to set these players up for success. You can't get away from James Cook. You need to at least show that you're going to use him. Give him he needs more than 15. I think before the season even started, guys, we said 14 to 18 touches for him to be successful. That has
20.
to happen. Yep.
20. Feed him. Come on.
Where, it's not a trap game. It's not one of those situations, but in a game where you could potentially handle some things, you're coming off that bad of a week, the prior week against Jaguars, you need to show that you can at least be very effective in every decision that you make. Gain yards, don't lose yards, no stupid penalties. You're playing at home. I think this is something that the Bills offense can just strategically drive every play. It might be one of those perfect games. It should be. And it's all up to Dorsey and Josh Allen's audible calls for sure.
I think Swank said it best. Coaches would look at last week and then they'd look at this week with everything that we've discussed as a quote unquote get right game. Mm-hmm. Get it right. Get right. Get back to what makes them such an elite team. I watched 2 different broadcasts today, Miami and Carolina. I watched another one, Washington and whoever they played. It's not coming to me. And the broadcast team talked about what Buffalo did to those teams in those games. That, hey, Washington did this today, but when they played Buffalo, hey, Miami did this today, but when they played Buffalo, that just goes to show you that these little blips in the radar kind of thing that's going on, as it did against the Jets and as against Jacksonville, those are things that can be corrected in the eyes of the people that study this game, whether they're analysts, coaches, you name it. This is all stuff that can get corrected. It just has to happen as soon as possible so that it doesn't continue to hold this team back from the potential and the talent that everybody knows that they have, whether they're haters or not. Everybody knows the Buffalo Bills have a talented football team. Nobody can disagree with that.
And we want to see all the right things. It's not like just airing it out and throwing it deep all the times. On a
Right.
3rd and 2, when they decide to pass it, I don't want to see a 15-yard route. I want to see a nice quick slant or a design play where they're going to complete a 3-yard pass. I want to see the many dynamics of the football game rather than just airing it out and running long ways. I want to see these little things that the Bills have honed in, good passes, low and outside to get that first down. That all needs to show this week. But I'm not going to argue if they're going to just air it out and get 450 yards passing and 100 yards. I won't argue.
Right.
I think we can have it all.
I think we all want to see that. I think
we can have it all. I think.
And certain weeks they can do whatever they want against certain teams.
Yeah.
But I think situational football, like a get right form and fashion, if they're able to situationally down and distance just manage and be effective, that's where they shine. That's where they've had games where you look up at the scoreboard and holy shit, we have 48 points or 42 points. This team can claw at you quick if situationally things are done the right way. And 40 points to the Buffalo Bills can be in the blink of an eye, whereas some teams you got to really trudge along to get that 40 points. That doesn't typically happen with the Buffalo Bills. It's blink and holy crap, Josh Allen's on the bench.
Yeah.
It's middle of the 4th quarter and we won this game.
Yep.
We've seen it before.
100%, and you can see it again. I really think the way this team is built, again, still trying to figure out exactly what this offense is, but they've hit it. They've hit the strides. They've shown it. It just well executed, well balanced game plans where Josh Allen is putting up numbers, but the run game is also putting up numbers and they're scoring and it's all working together in harmony. The thing is, I think with Dorsey being so new to his position too, 2nd-year OC, right? Been in the NFL and around football his whole life, big college career, yada, yada, yada. That's all great, but putting together an NFL caliber offense with the pieces that you have and making it consistently work against a different defense every week, it's a hard ask. And he's doing it, and it's there, and you can see how it's there, and you can see how they've adapted and changed it to make it work later. But like last week showed us, it was too late, too little, too late. You should have opened it up before that and figured it out before that. And that's just part of the growing pains with this team. That being said, we're in a great position to win another game tonight. And, it's 7:28, boys. I think that means let's roll around and do our bold predictions for this game. We'll go right over here. Scooter Magooter, give me your bold prediction for tonight's game.
I wasn't there on the K-Gun report, but I did submit my bold prediction for Josh Allen getting 4 touchdowns. I told you guys about the stat that I knew the Bills had a lot of sacks. I did not know they were number 1 before the Baltimore game was played. I could see my bold predictions are going to go off that. With the injuries with the offensive line and Russo and Miller having a full week together, preparing for a team, 5+ for me. That's my bold prediction is 5+ sacks. Tyrod Taylor, he's going to try to run, but I think the speed with those guys and Russo's long arms, I don't think he's going to be very successful getting out of that pocket.
I like it. RT, what do you got?
Well, last week, Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis had over 100 yards receiving, which I can't remember the last time that's happened for the Buffalo Bills. 2 receivers having over 100 yards receiving. I think tonight it's going to be Stephon over 100 yards. It's going to be Gabe Davis over 100 yards. And over 100 yards for Jimbo Cook running that football. I do expect us to have 3 100-yard performers, Cook rushing, and obviously Davis and Diggs receiving. And listen, I think this is going to be a game that looks a lot like what happened when we played the Miami Dolphins, where Josh Allen just looked efficient, played a well-oiled machine-like game. And I think that's what we're going to see. I see this being a 35, 40-point effort from the offense tonight. and fantasy football managers will be very happy.
I like it. Well, depending on which side of the stake you're on, I guess.
That's if they own those players,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Obviously. Yeah.
My bold prediction tonight, I'm gonna go offensive line, some unsung trench heroes right now who have been doing a hell of a job this season, I think, for all of the criticism that they've endured over the last couple seasons, especially Spencer Brown and even Deion Dawkins at times, stuff like that. I think that line is going to keep Josh Allen 100% clean tonight. I don't think you're going to see one sack made against Mr. Josh Allen, and that will lead to many points and many great things for the Buffalo Bills. So tuck that in your sack there, Buff Mafia. Did they kick
Weather
this one?
report says it's nice. Weather report says
I
it's
love
nice.
45 degrees.
I'll take it.
And
That's
no
that's
rain.
perfect big guy weather. I'm there for it.
Yeah.
So in the comments, I saw a bunch of people saying the Jets just intercept Jalen Hurts and they're kicking the game-winning field goal right now.
Wow.
That's
a big one.
Yeah.
I'll look it up real quick.
All right.
That's a big one. That'd be two big upsets. The Niners go down to an AFC team, the Browns. Obviously, Eagles going down to the Jets. That's wow.
All right, I'm not going to things happen in threes. Let's not. I'm not going to say it. Nope.
No,
it's
no,
different.
it's not.
This is different.
This is different.
Completely different.
We're not the Giants are not the Browns or the Eagles. We'll just say that.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, let's roll
Or the
around and do our
Jets.
X factor here quick. RT, I'm going to start with you, buddy. What is your X factor for tonight's game?
X factor for tonight's game, I think we're going to see some turnovers as well from this Bills defense. It kind of is a bold prediction, but my X factor is knowing Tyrod as well as we do. This is his first start in 2 years. There is a thing called ring rust, field rust. I think we're going to see some early field rust from Tyrod Taylor in this game to the tune of maybe a fumble or an interception. By the time this game's over, I think there'll be 4 turnovers forced by this Bills defense. I see the X factor being this new hybrid speedy linebacker core that I think Sean McDermott has had a lot of fun with. It's almost like turning the garage opener on and you see that 67 Chevelle and you're like, oh, I'm taking this baby for a ride. That's what he's doing with Terrell Bernard and some of the other guys that'll get an opportunity that we mentioned before, Spector, Dorian Williams. I think this is going to be a fun game for them to be unleashed and show what they can do.
Man, you really got my dad's attention if he's tuning in right now with that car reference, man. He's a big motorhead.
67 Chevelle, Impala, Corvette, whatever it may be.
Yeah, he's more of a Mustang Mopar guy.
Mustang, yeah. Hey, I look forward to.
So right now the Jets are up 20-14. The Philadelphia Eagles are going to get one last drive. Obviously, they have to score a touchdown to win. 1:41 left.
No, well, the game's not over.
No, okay, not over yet.
Okay. Well, are they going to show why they're touted as one of the best in the goddamn NFL, or are they going to melt underneath the Jets, which will give us more credit? And I am all about it. Go ahead. Let the Jets win one more game this season, and then it's done. Scott, you didn't do your X Factor yet, did you?
No, I didn't.
Well, do it.
I didn't.
Let's go.
I didn't.
Come on.
I think one thing we have to worry about, 3-4 defense. We don't play against that a lot. Swank, I'm going off your bold prediction with keeping Josh Allen clean. Leonard Williams, Dexter Lawrence, and TB though, an outside linebacker that's very dangerous.
Thibodeau. I love me some Thibodeau. I do.
X factor, which is really cliche to say, it would be the trenches, and I'm leaning more towards the Buffalo Bills offense, keeping those guys at bay.
I like it. They've done it. They've done it all season so far, man. Yep. I mean, gone up against some heavy hitters, and this, I mean, Thibodeau's great, whatever, but like that line does not scare me at all. You know, this defense doesn't really scare me at all. So, yeah, no, it's good. Good call. My X factor tonight is going to be Kaiir Elam. Man coverage. Getting on these wide receivers, if he can play them tight, if he can salvage a little bit of dignity tonight and play them tight, he might save his spot on this roster without getting tossed to the wolves either by next season or traded before the deadline. But if he does play these receivers tight, that will give Tyrod less of an option because we know he's not going to thread the needle. We know he's not going to try and make a mistake and pick a ball. He's going to hold on to the ball longer and more opportunities for sacks on your boy, Mr. Tyrod Taylor. So I think cornerback play, specifically, I'm looking at Kyer Elam tonight. And I want to see where he's at. And he could be an X factor in this game.
There you go. There you go.
Score predictions. Starting up top, my brother, Scooter Magooter. What do you got, buddy? Give it to us. And show it in the comments. Let's go.
I think 31-17 is what I had in the K-Gun report. But the weather's going to be nice. That offensive line is depleted for the Giants. I don't see them getting 17 points. 10 after lucky, so I'll go 10 there. And let's right this wrong of last week's debacle of traveling to London, and let's put up 42 points. Boom, 6 touchdowns. 6 drives, 6 touchdowns. The reason it's only 6 drives is because I think the Giants are going to try to wind that clock down, make it so the Bills' offense isn't out there. So 6 for 6, 42-10, Buffalo Bills.
Damn. I love it. It's a monster of a beatdown. RT, what do you got, buddy?
I'm going 38-13, and the only reason why I have them only scoring 38 as opposed to Scooter's 42 is because I do believe Josh Allen will be pulled at the fourth quarter, early kind of midway fourth quarter mark. Tyler Bass will just chip one in from 20 yards out, not get anybody hurt here. Let's, ride off into the sunset with this W and have some wings and beer after this one. And I think it's going to be a great night just to show on the national stage that, hey, great teams can lose. We got a lot of football left. I've read so many negative takes, and I get it. Last week was really tough to watch, especially seeing a guy like Matt Milano go down. Thoughts go out to him, as well as Daquan Jones. Both suffered injuries that were pretty tough to see, right? Especially guys that have competed at that level for as long as they have, as well as they have. But I think that it's going to be a game that's going to show the national stage once again. Don't forget about us. We're here. We're not going anywhere. There's a lot of football left. Let's see where we are at the end of the year, and then start talking. But for now, the haters, shut your mouths. Let this season play out, and we'll see where We'll see where all these teams are at that are believed to be better than Buffalo at the end of the year. Let's just leave it at that.
Just shut your mouth.
Shut your mouth. Our boy Kevin says 34-13 Bills. Rob Mullen 47-10 Bills in a stampede. Lonnie said Jets win. It's all over. Didn't get that fourth down. It's over.
Oh yeah.
Ooh. Down goes Frazier, says Rob Mullen. Doug Augie 50 burger. He's saying 50. 50 up on him. Damn. All right. Damn. Mine right here. For all you fine people to hear and see, I have no respect for Brian Dable. I know that a lot of people like to give him a lot of praise, and I am not one of those people. The other two people on this live stream with me also, we've been pretty critical of Brian Dable and of the fact that Josh Allen somehow is only Josh Allen because of Brian Dable, and that is a bunch of bullshit. What I'd like to say is, oh, man. Oh, you want to come on? Yeah? Oh, we got a late guest. You want him? Oh, you want him. Ladies and gentlemen, the general himself, Justice General, joining Sunday Sessions. What's up, brother?
What's going on, guys? I was sitting here like I've been in my room sick all day. I'm just like, why not get on live? And I saw you guys were on live. I was like, even better.
Hell yeah, dog.
What's going on, fellas?
Oh,
What's up, man?
We're
ready for a big win.
Ooh, yeah.
Hell
I was just about to give my score prediction. Now I'll just turn it over to you, man. You can tell me all about what you think.
Oh man. First of all, great day of football. It feels like the Jets are about to beat the Eagles, which is insane. But as far as the Bills games versus the Giants, I need this to be like the week after we lost to the week after we lost to New York, the Jets. And I need this to be like one of those just no holds barred, straight up dominant. Like damn near perfect game from everybody involved. It just straight up dominance. That's kind of what I want to see. Like, because I feel like I don't like, for the Jets game in particular, I was distraught after the Jets game, and I gave them all the blame in the world because they deserved it. But the Jags game, I look at the game and I'm like, I don't necessarily think that they played bad, with the whole traveling thing, getting there late, you're however many hours behind, then you're playing a team who's been sitting there for 2 weeks. I feel like that was just, they were put in unfortunate circumstances. And not only that, but the referees they didn't help them at all. So when I take a look at all that and I say, well, Josh Allen still came away with 350 passing yards. He still had the 3 total touchdowns, and really it should have been more because Stephon Diggs 9 times out of 10 comes up with that catch down at the one where it got intercepted. And so I'm like, they didn't perform badly, especially when you consider we had them at like 11 to 17 points, something like that, at the beginning of the fourth quarter, and we faced umpteen injuries. You know what I mean? Like it was just like everything was against us. Everything was against us, and then we still had a chance to win the game at the end. And I thought that was more encouraging than discouraging. So you come back to the States, you get to, host the New Jersey team, let them show them what a real New York team looks like, and kick the doors down. You know what I mean? Show Dayball, you shouldn't have left. Hodgins shouldn't have left. You know what I mean? I'm excited about tonight's game. Josh Allen, 9 times out of 10, he shines in primetime games. So I'm so excited right now.
Undefeated on Sunday night, 4-0.
Yeah, I was going to say, from my recollection, every single time I remember seeing him in prime time, he's just absolutely dominated. So, man, I expect nothing less from them tonight as well.
Hell yeah, absolutely.
Love it.
I was about to do my score prediction here. I think for me, I think it's 40. I think it's 40 points. I think you got a well-balanced game plan that's going to come, but then Josh is going to get so comfortable after that first drive that you're just going to see the fireworks. And I think the run game is going to play a big part. I think Quentin Morris is going to get some nice catches, and I can't wait for that. But our boy Stephon Diggs, man, I think he's going to have another game today. I know Rob Mullen was talking about that in the comments too. So I got to go 45, and the most respect I can give this Giants offense right now is Saquon gets 1 on a bum ankle. So I'm going to go 45-10 Buffalo Bills. What do you got,
Gotcha.
Justice?
I like it.
I like to be humble. I like to keep the scores a little, you know what I mean? A little realistic. I don't like to do too much, but I'm with you. I feel like I could feel like a 45-3 type of deal.
Holy.
You know what I mean? Something like that. I feel like, how the Bills defense kind of just lets you do whatever you want in the first drive, so they can kind of get engaged on what you're going to do.
They figure you out. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll probably let them get to like the 40, 35-yard line. Then Leonard Floyd will have a sack, and then they'll kick a long field goal, and that'll be their only points for the game. And I genuinely believe that is going to happen tonight.
I can't wait to see Brian Dable's little like red-faced gnome body just shaking.
I was just about to say the same thing. The face starts red, and then it just gravitates to his whole head. And that's when you know that they're in trouble.
Like a fireball.
Yes.
Oh my God, he starts stomping up and down the sideline. It's the best, dude.
Throwing his laminated play call sheet. That'll be great.
I don't think he's gonna scream at Tyrod like that, by the way.
No,
like Tyrod's
refs
such
for sure.
He'll
Find a way.
100%.
No. Tyrod is because we had Tyrod, so we know all about Tyrod. Tyrod is not going to turn the ball over.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be extremely conservative. So as long as Dayball does what he needs to do in terms of like play calling and whatnot, then they should be fine. Like Tyrod's not going to give the game away, but chances are he probably won't win the game either, though. So.
That's it. He won't take the chances. We were talking about that earlier. He won't take the shots,
Yep.
and that's what got him out of Buffalo to begin with.
Yep.
And he's too conservative. So
Yep.
Crazy. Well, man, we were about to end it with that. So you know,
Yeah.
are you doing live after this, or is this
No,
it?
no. I got my fix. I talked to my
Okay,
guys.
all right.
I'm all good. I honestly, I feel like trash right now, but I was just like, I'm so amped. I need to like do something right now. So this
Yeah,
is
man.
Get it out of your
absolutely
system,
perfect.
right?
Exactly.
Not too long because my throat is starting to get like itchy. So like this is good.
Oh
Thank
yeah,
you
you
guys.
know
And
you'll
I'm
be doing
sorry
some
about
yelling and screaming.
going to the StreamYard instead of to you guys' link. I apologize.
Oh no, man, that was perfect. It worked out perfect. It's funny because I was like, man, I wonder if this is gonna work and these guys can hear you, but you guys can hear them all right, right?
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah,
so shit, we
yeah,
can do this.
we're
We can do
great.
this more often.
Yeah.
So it'd be
Okay.
Great to hear your voice.
Yeah,
Great to
man.
hear from you, of course. It's been a bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And by the way, guys, I'm gonna have to get all you guys onto my show soon.
Yeah.
So I'll hit you guys up and we'll talk about that for sure.
100%.
Yeah,
dude.
sounds
100%.
good.
All right, guys. We're gonna get to this game. Our little rituals before kickoff here. You know, you only got about 35 minutes, 34 minutes now. Damn. So listen, enjoy these games. Enjoy this ass whooping that you're about to watch, and go Bills.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Oh,